Hello, friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Rowell. All right, a couple days ago when I was coming back from picking up the medicine for the kitties, I happened to notice while I was waiting at a traffic light that there was a billboard on one of the adjacent streets advertising something called Silo of Screams in Temple, Texas. Apparently, this is a kind of an annual massive haunted house that they do every year in Temple. And apparently, what they've done is they've acquired a 30,000 square foot warehouse, and they have five different Halloween themed mazes that you can go through, five different haunted houses. Runs on the weekends in October between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. So, what I think I'm going to try and do is go down there a little bit early. Maybe leave here about 6 o'clock. It'll take me 45 minutes or so to get there, so I can get kind of to the front of the line, hopefully, and get in there and get through there really quickly. That seems to be the only real complaint people had, was that you ended up waiting in line a lot to get into it. So I think if I go a little bit early, hopefully I can be one of the first ones to get in, and it'll be really great. Now, you may recall last year, Jordan and I did a vlog. Jordan did a vlog where he and I visited a couple of haunted houses in the Los Angeles area. Those were really, really cool. So this place has some big shoes to fill. But I'm kind of hoping that since this seems to be kind of professionally done, and a lot of the stuff that we hit last year in LA were just kind of people that decorated their own houses, that this should still be pretty good. And it seems to be one of the bigger things in the area. So let's go see Silo of Screams. All right, so I'm a little disappointed. I'm not going to be able to take you through the maze because there's no video or photography inside. But basically, there's five mazes here. I actually just had the guy who runs the place come up to me, and they actually tried to recruit me to work here. So I don't know, maybe we'll do that. Get a little money off of this. That'd be fun. Anyway, there's like two mazes over here, and you go in like this door and then come out that door. And then there's another one over here on this end. And then over here, there's three of them over here that we'll visit. And apparently you get 5 armbands when you've bought the tickets. And I've already purchased tickets. So, I'll get 5 armbands. And each time I go through one, they'll cut one of them off. And that's how it works. So this just looks like kind of a dilapidated warehouse that they've taken over and turned into a haunted house. I don't know if you can see, it says, "We're dying to see you" over there, and it says, "Help me" on the roof, and "Fear" is over there. Yeah, I really wish I could show you what's going on in here, but whatever. They want people to come and pay to see this and not just watch it on video, so I guess I sort of understand. Even though if I'm a little disappointed, I guess I'll just have to tell you what it's about after each one. Little train action out here while we're waiting in line. So if they were saying that if I were to actually come and work for them, what would end up happening is I'd have to do a couple nights as a volunteer, and basically they just want to see who I am and make sure I'm not a psycho and anything like that. And then once that's done, I would earn maybe $50 a night. So I don't know, that might be fun. Probably not a lot of opportunities to make money at this point, but because they're only going to be doing this for another couple weeks, but whatever, it might be fun to earn a few bucks. Woohoo, first in line. Yep, no video, no photography. That's a bummer. You'll just have to use your imagination. Now, when I was talking to the guy who was running the place, he immediately recognized and appreciated my Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt. And I kind of wore that by choice because I'd seen on the website that there was actually looked like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre theme, one of the mazes. So, I thought that'd be appropriate. So we already got a little horror going out here.
We're not even in the place yet. I'm gonna kick somebody. Is she coming? She's coming back from round 2.
First maze I'm going to go through is called Her Wicked Way, and it takes place in Voodoo Swamp. So I'll tell you what it's all about at the end.
What? Someone call me?
Got some horror going on here. All right, so the first one was really good. It was a pretty long maze, lots of like smoke machines and strobe lights and some animatronic characters, and then of course your typical characters that jump out at you. It was kind of all over the road theme-wise. You kind of start off in a swamp kind of feeling, and then you kind of go through looks like a mental hospital, and ultimately you get some mad scientist torturing people, and you know, demented characters jumping out at you, asking you to join them and all that. There was even somebody in there with a Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing chasing you around with a chainsaw. So that first one was really good. Let's go check out the second one. I gotta see what that one's called now. So the second one's called just simply The Maze. So we're gonna go see what the maze is all about. See, that was the first one we went in. That one's already got quite a line to it. So I think it was good that we're kind of doing them in order here. All right, the maze was a good name for that one. It was just a lot of dark tunnels that had like dead ends, and then like a bunch of like glow-in-the-dark faces that were lit up by black lights and all that kind of fun stuff. And then every once in a while, one of those faces would jump out at you and bark at you, like this guy right here. So yeah, that one was very enjoyable. Just a lot of, like I said, it was really dark. You were stumbling around in the dark there, and sometimes they had to actually kind of show you which way to go, because you try and go the wrong way and end up someplace you weren't supposed to. There were a couple points where I was really like, how do I get out of here? I don't even know where to go. So yeah, that was a good one. So let's go on to the next one. All right, so this next maze is called the Incinerator. So let's check out what the Incinerator is all about. Sounds interesting. So this is what the Incinerator looks like from the outside. Yeah, you can see there's all sorts of horror going on in there. This is actually where the silo comes in for the silo of screams. All right, so the Incinerator was really good too. It was another one of these dark mazes you kind of wander through. One of the things I've really liked about a lot of these mazes is that they got kind of a combination of actors and like animatronics in there. And so you look at something and say, oh yeah, that's just an animatronic, and all of a sudden it starts moving at you. Another guy in there. This one kind of seemed to be a lot like a slaughterhouse, but they looked like they were slaughtering people. So this is more of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre theme kind of thing too. In fact, there was another guy in there with a chainsaw that was chasing me around. So yeah, another really good one. All sorts of great horror going on in here. You can listen to all the sound effects and all the people having a great time in there. All right, this one's called the Van Winkle Memorial. And the guy I talked to earlier, John, who actually suggested maybe I could come and work here, he just came up to me a minute ago and he gave me a couple of teeth, which I just dropped one of them. And he says, when the dentist jumps out at you, hand him one of the teeth and say, I've already had my teeth pulled. So I really like the Van Winkle Memorial also. It was kind of a creepy, like, medical hospital kind of theme where, they're dismembering patients and all that. I actually did find the dentist in the middle and gave him his teeth back. So, that was a good one too. A lot of characters that jumping out at you, and a lot of just like really creepy sound effects. So another good one. Yeah, so far this is 4 for 4. Let's go into the last one now. It's called, I believe, the Funhouse. So this must be the one with all the scary clowns on it. So I'm very interested in seeing that. So in this section, they actually let you take your camera out, and they call this a free photo walk. So you can kind of pick different scenes and go in and do your own thing. So I chose this one. This seemed really interesting. And in case you ever wanted to sit in a real coffin, now you can do it. And then they got some friends you can kind of hang out with and pose with if you want. So in this place, you can either be the butcher or the meat. I think I'll choose the meat. Alright, so which one am I? Am I the butcher or the meat? Alright, so that was the Funhouse maze. That was pretty good too. If you're not into clowns, that's not the one you want to be in. A bunch of creepy clowns kind of chase you around in there. A lot of loud noises and sharp turns and dark alleys and stuff like that to run down. But it's a lot of fun. This was a good maze. I really enjoyed this one. All right, so that's it. I've gone through all 5 mazes. They were all good in their own way. I think I really liked the first maze the best. Incinerator was really good. I liked the maze where we were kind of groping around in the dark. and then the kind of haunted medical thing was okay, and the clown one was okay. They're actually all worth a look. So I spent about an hour and a half here, and it was a good maze. So if you ever get a chance, I definitely recommend go checking out the Silo of Screams here in Temple, Texas. They apparently do a Christmas version too, so I'll have to definitely check that out again. I wish I could have taken you in and shown you all of this, but I sort of understand their reasoning for not wanting to do that. Now I gotta admit, there were a couple of kind of things that I saw there that are really cool that I want to kind of try and duplicate at some point for my own haunted house attractions. One of the things I really liked was that they had several places where there were platforms that you stepped on where they rocked or kind of moved on your feet, so the ground was like unstable. That was kind of fun. I think that would be fairly easy to duplicate at some point. I also kind of like the fact that there were some things hanging down from the ceiling in the dark, and things sticking out from the walls as you walk through the dark corridor. So it felt like something was grabbing you or touching you, or scraping along with you as you kind of walked along. I thought that was really cool, and that was also something I'd kind of like to duplicate. They also got these popping things that are strobe lights. I got to figure out what they are. I'm not sure exactly, but they make a kind of a cool popping sound when you're walking through there, and that's kind of scary and a lot of fun. So like I said, it wasn't just a Halloween experience. It was also kind of a learning experience to figure out kind of things that I can do in the future with my own Halloween displays. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.